Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Ronald Robert here with the Hustle Nation. Hope you're having a fantastic day. It's Thursday morning, like 3:45 a.m. and boom, I'm thinking to myself, who's got my money today? What do we have going on here in the Hustle Nation? We bought a duplex a couple weeks ago. They're working on the studio apartment, making some headway with that. And we actually got a deposit on it, so I've got somebody that's looking to move in around November 12th. That's a good thing for sure. We got my other duplex on the other side of town that the people have moved out, and it's not been the worst, but top three as far as just unbelievable the amount of bugs, cockroaches, and everything like that. So we got all the stuff out of there. Off. We're going to have to do some fencing on the outside, clean it up a little bit more, and right now I'm just waiting for all the bugs to bug on out, no pun intended. So that's stupid redneck joke, so I'm in the South, so y'all bear with me and everything. And so we put out the it's this roach paste that comes in like a big syringe. Put that out, and what they have to do is they have to eat that, go back to the nest, die, the other roaches eat it, and then they die as well. So it's not an overnight process. Yesterday I went by there to pick up the tool trailer. Things did look a whole lot better. They're not as many, however, they're still there doing that number and everything. So, that being all said, we got a lot going on and everything, but we're going to talk about what is it, my favorite thing, retirement. It's not so much as being retired or getting retired. It's the connotations that come up when somebody says, I am retired, okay? And you find a lot of people say, I'm retired, but they're still very active. They have things that they're doing. They've got commitments. I know when my father retired, he, I want to say he was alive for another 19 years before he actually passed. And so he got to enjoy his retirement. However, he did not stop working. He just stopped getting a paycheck from somebody other than his pension. But what I mean is that, you know, Monday through Friday from 8 to 12, he was at the church, he was pedaling around, cutting the grass, doing all that kind of stuff and everything. And so he had commitments. He still had a job. He still had a sense of purpose. However, the thing about it is more people will plan the family vacation than they will taking time to plan their retirement. It's crazy. Okay, but here's the thing is that you and I were never taught how to invest. We were never taught that we should invest, basically. Unless you come from a very select households, 1% I think is financially literate. The rest of us, 99% of us are, you know, just don't know anything until we become educated or we take that initiative and educate ourselves. So let's talk about retirement. What is it that we want to do? What do you see yourself doing in retirement? Is there any major expenses that you believe that you're going to have once you become retired? Some of you all are fortunate enough that, you know, by the time you're 40, 45 years old, there's like, I think, Jason with the Dump Trailer Hustle that did that ride out with me. I believe he retired and he's in his early 40s, if I'm not mistaken. You know, he went into the military young. My cousin Justin in the Coast Guard, he's going to be retired at 40. He went into the Coast Guard at 18. At 38, boom, he'll be done. He'll be getting a check and medical for the rest of his life. So we're all at different points and everything about that. But let's go over some things to consider. Okay, let's talk about big expenses. All right, we got house payment. Is your house paid off yet or not? We got a car payment. So we'll figure decent house, $1,200 a month. Decent car, insurance, $500 a month. We're at $1,700 a month. Okay, guess what? That's after-tax money. And so you have to figure, what is $1,700 before taxes? $1,700 before taxes is probably going to be about $2,200. Okay, now how much do I need to live every week? I like to break things down by the week because I actually put them down into the day. Okay, so you figure if you're spending $500 a week on top of that money right there, then you're needing a retirement coming in of at least $50,000 to $55,000 a year before taxes. Do you have that? If not, what can we do? We can always downsize, but can you really? And the thing about it is that like in my hometown, or where I live at now, it's just really not feasible anymore to be going, because the difference between having a house that you're paying $1,200 a month on a payment and then renting something and trying to downsize, it's not going to be that much difference. Okay, so then the problem becomes, okay, we hang on to this. How do we get that eliminated? Ain't but two ways to do it. You either rent out some rooms, have some income to make this number go down, or you sell the house or pay it off. Okay, so the thing is that how do we get rid of that expense? Now look at the car. I was talking to somebody yesterday, 150,000 miles on their car. Is it breaking down? No, but I'm just concerned about it. I want to go and get a new car. Okay, you know, that decision right there to not drive that car into the ground until it can no longer go any further. And that's what I've done all my life, okay? That Dodge truck that I got, that I pull the dump trailers with, that's the first new vehicle I've ever bought in my life. I'm 50 years old, okay? I have bought some vehicles that I've gotten financed, and actually I still have the very first one. I bought a 99, it's 99 or 98 Mazda extended cab, little 5-speed, and with a 4-cylinder. I bought that truck with 10,000 miles. It's got 190 on it, and I keep it for a backup just in case something happens, okay? And the reason for that is that it's like $50 a month for insurance, okay? And if I was to sell that truck, where would I put that money and how would it benefit me? And I'm thinking, well, it wouldn't, because it's such a small amount of money. But then the other thing is that the flip side is that if I need a truck or a vehicle to drive for some reason, it would be catastrophic for me not to have something that I can immediately drive. And what I mean is within 30 minutes, boom, I'm up and going, okay? Because I don't know if y'all ever try to get a rental car here lately and everything. There's a lot of times that you're just not able to, okay? So I look at things in the same, okay, $600 a year to have this vehicle at my disposal at these fingertips right here. How much will it cost me if I miss one appointment to sell a roof? How much will it cost me if I miss this opportunity? How much will it? It doesn't make sense not to have the truck, so the truck stays, okay? I'm all about keeping expenses low and trimming the fat, okay? But look at the big picture in the sense of if something's one time, how much do you lose, okay? If it's disproportionate, then it doesn't work. If that figure, if it cost me $20,000 a year to keep that truck, it'd be gone, okay? But it doesn't. So let's get back on this right here. Talk about this retirement thing. How much money do you really need to come in? And only you can answer that, okay? But the thing is, you know, ask yourself, because like I got a family member that multimillionaire, he likes taking these trips all over the world, big, exotic, extravagant type of trips, you know, and everything like that. Every time he goes, I think he's, you know, in between $8,000 to $12,000. Usually does about 3 of them per year, okay? And then he's got living expenses throughout the year as well. So I figure his nut every year is probably $80,000 to $100,000. Now all of his investments pay for that and then some. Okay, so he planned it out to where he can go and do and live the life that he wants to live. Ask yourself, what is it that I want to do? Because the thing about retirement is everybody I've talked to and asked, you know, what would you do differently, or what did you find out that you didn't know? Every one of them said, I did not know how expensive it was retired. I did not know how expensive it was to be retired. What they found out is that 40 hours a week, if you're working, you're not spending money. But now all this free time, and no matter what it is that you want to do, it's going to cost you money. So the thing is that you got to make sure that you've got some money. Do me a favor. Take 30 minutes a day and start educating yourself financially. Take an hour a week to figure out when I want to retire and how much do I want to have coming in. All right. I always tell people, you figure out what the destination is and where you're at, and the path to get there is going to become clear. Because a lot of times people will come to me, they ask me about my mentorship and say, well, and I ask them some questions. One of them is well, what do you want to do? 9 times out of 10, hey, I want to be richer. Okay, well, here's a quarter, problem solved. What do you need help? No, man, I really, I want to be richer and everything. Okay, richer has to be clearly defined. Does that mean $50 a week? Does that mean an extra $500 a week? Or does that mean you need $1 million, $2 million, $3 million sitting in the bank? You tell me what is richer. And the thing about it is that we are so reluctant to put any time into it, and I'll tell you why. Is because there's not an immediate emotional payoff to financial planning. Okay? Now, when you're sitting there planning that trip to Disneyland, oh my gosh, and then we're going to go to Magic Kingdom, and then we're going to see Minnie Mouse, I'm going to take some pictures with the kids, and Goofy, and we're going to see if we can see the 7 Dwarfs and everything. There's an emotional payoff for that. Okay? It's pleasurable. We're going to make some memories, and there's nothing wrong with doing that, okay? But here's the thing is that if you want to do more of those emotional payoffs, that pleasure, okay, you'll do some of these things, and some of that is that financial planning. I hear it all the time. I see it all the time. And here's something that you never hear about. Does anybody know what the average cost is for assisted living? Not a nursing home, but assisted living. Decent place. I think the national average is $4,800. You know what that means? 60 grand a year. And that's still being able to clothe yourself, dress yourself, wipe your own butt, take a shower for a place to live. That in case something does happen, that you've got some immediate attention right there. That's $60,000. What if you live, 10 years like that? That's more than $500,000. Do you have more than $500,000 coming in? A lot of people run out of money. They don't plan. My only thing, folks, is I want you to live a life of abundance. I want you to live a life of prosperity. I want you to be everything that you can do. One of the things is that the more money you got, the more people you can help, the better off you can be, the better off to society you can be as well if you do those things. That's just the way I look at things. I'm Randall Robert with the Hustle Nation. Have yourself a very wonderful day and figure out who's got your money.